So we're gonna start, actually I wanna start lying down. And I want you to bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall wide to the edges of the mat. So this is a gentle hip opener. And if you want to start the playlist, you can go ahead and do that. All right, and as you settle in and you come into this moment, really feel the back side of your body release into the mat. You're gonna take a full breath in and a long breath out. Unhinge your jaw. Soften the space between your eyes. All right, and if you're just popping in, we're just getting started, lying down, coming into the moment, coming into the body. All right, and just really press the soles of your feet together. Right, and as you exhale, can you let the knees relax towards the mat? Good morning, Cindy. And as you settle in, you begin to notice the breath in and out. Notice the mind. Notice the body. Right, and if you drift into thought or to worry or to agitation or excitement or joy, right? Can you just come back to this moment, right? Those thoughts are going to be there, but can you come back here into the body, into the moment? Good morning, Sherry. All right, and as you breathe, can you awaken to this idea of love, right? And not love in the sense of a romantic kind of love. I mean, I guess it could be, but more in the sense of that love, love of community, love of spirit, love of body, love of this life, right? That it begins with the heart, right? And we move from that space. Right? Brene Brown always says that courage is to tell the story of the heart, which to me is to tell the story of love. Good morning, Steph. It's early in Oregon. All right, so you breathe in love. And you breathe out all of the other stuff. Anything that is not that. Take your hands to the outside of your knees. You're going to close your knees up like a book. You're going to hug your knees into the chest, rock side to side. All right, fill up. Take a breath in. On the exhale, you're going to drop your knees over to the right. You're waking up the spine. Shoulder blades stay on the mat. All right, and you notice here Where can you find ease? Where can you find love? Love of this pose, love of this moment. Take a breath in, the knees come back to center, and on the exhale, knees drop over to the left. And I saw a quote on Instagram that said, "Love is the strongest medicine. It is more powerful than electricity." And I think that in this time recently, I've realized what I love, right? Things that I didn't think I love, I do, like people. Huh, who knew? Take a breath in, you come back to center. Right? You're gonna hug the right knee in, left leg's gonna go out long, cross the right knee over the body. Arms can go out side to side. Right, I've always thought I was this introvert, and I think that that's just this story I've been telling myself my whole life, and that I really am an extrovert. I'm having to come to grips with this in this self-quarantining. Right, but love of coffee, love of walks, love of nature, love of laughter, right? That is the medicine of the soul. Take a breath in, come back to center, right leg goes out long, left knee comes in, cross it over the body. And coming to our mat, right? We get to practice the language of our soul. And take a breath in and a breath out. Left leg goes out long, hug the knees into the chest, rock front to back, and make your way to seated at the top of the mat. Take a breath in, and the arms are going to reach up overhead. Shoulders fall away from your ears. You're grounding down into your sit bones. Exhale, hands come to heart center and pause. Feel your heart, feel your breath. Right, this life force, right, this superpower that's within us at all times that we sometimes forget about. If we tune into that superpower, we're never going to get lost. Take a breath in, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, the left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. Right fingertips touch down. Stretch open to the right. Open up across the heart. Crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling. You take a breath in. You come back to center, and on the exhale, you come to the other side. So the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left fingertips touch down. Right? The twist comes from the waist. Maybe you look out over the left shoulder. Maybe it's too early. Take a breath in. You come back to center. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you're going to plant your hands and you're going to make your way back to downward facing dog. Right? And it is known that I don't always love downward facing dog. Right? It's all right. Maybe you love it. Maybe you don't love it in this moment, but can you breathe in? Can you soften it so that maybe you're neutral? Right, so the hands are strong. The heels are sinking towards the mat. The shoulder blades are moving down your back. Hips are lifting up towards the ceiling. Maybe you put a slight bend in your knee. Yeah, you're going to take a breath in. You're going to come up to your toes. And on the exhale, heels are going to drop over to the right. Right, so if I were to look at you, if I could see you in the studio, I wouldn't be able to tell that your heels are dropped over to the right. So don't let your hips shift. Let them be square, right? Yeah, breathe in, take a breath in. You come back to center. Exhale, you drop the knees over to the left. Right, and you notice here, right, what shows up, what greets you this morning. And instead of getting frustrated or irritated or agitated, can you find some softness? Can you find love for the opportunity to greet whatever shows up? Take a breath in, heels come back to center. Drop them towards the mat. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to glide forward to high plank. All right. Each pose an opportunity to breathe into this strong, powerful medicine, this electricity of life. Broaden across the chest. Puff up the space between your shoulder blades. Belly button's hugging into the spine. Take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, you glide forward, high plank. You know I love plank. There is nothing about plank that I don't love. Take a breath in and a breath out. Maybe you tell yourself you love it. Exhale, downward facing dog. But why do I love it? Because I feel strong. I feel powerful, right? I feel confident. Take a breath in. You glide forward to high plank. Take a full breath in, and on the exhale, you're going to lower down to the mat. Take your fingertips off of the mat. Come up to your fingertips like you've got Spider-Man fingers, right? You're going to take a breath in, and you're going to lift your heart to cobra. So this is called striking cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, the heart lifts. Roll the shoulders onto the back. Beautiful. Exhale, you lower. One more time. Heart lifts. You use the core. Lift yourself up. Exhale, you lower. You bring your hands back to the mat. Hug the elbows into the rib cage. And you're going to push back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in. You look forward. Walk your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale, spine is long. Reach the hands behind the back, broaden across the shoulders, stretch forward. Beautiful. Exhale, you fold. 2 more of those, please. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. You plant your hand, you step back to plank, and you pause. You take a full breath in, and on the exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale, so you can do regular cobra. If you want to keep doing the striking cobra, you can do that. Exhale, you lower. Push back to downward facing dog. You take a full breath in, and on the exhale, you look forward. Walk your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you ground down. You rise to standing. Arms reach up overhead. Drop the shoulders. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you plant your hands. You step back to plank. You pause. You take a full breath in. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a breath in. This time, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, you plant your hands. You step back to plank. You move through vinyasa, right? So that vinyasa is the lowering down, the lifting to cobra, and making your way back to downward facing dog. Right, so you can do the vinyasa or you can skip it all together. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Your next inhale, you look forward, feet to the hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you ground down, you rise to standing. Exhale, you keep moving, you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you plant your hands, you step back to plank, you pause. You keep pausing. Breathing in love, breathing out any thought that tells you you can't do this, you're fine, you've got it. Take a breath in, exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. You're going to walk your hands back to your feet. So you're at the back of the mat. Take your feet wide. Grab opposite elbows. Come into ragdoll. All right. Fill up with love. Fill up with the goodness. Fill up with the electricity. Exhale all the other. Anything that is not that. Right. Inhale, you fill up. Exhale, you let the head and neck release. Maybe you sway side to side. Right, and you notice here what comes up, right? So you go from movement to stillness, different things show up. An opportunity to re-engage. Take a breath in, fingertips come down to the mat. Left hand's gonna stay down, right hand's gonna lift up. Bend deeply into that left knee, open up across the heart, right? Breathing into love. It requires being in the moment, being mindful. That's the work. Take a breath in. Right hand comes down, bend into the right knee. Left hand lifts up, open up. Roll the top shoulder onto the back. Right, and you've got to have an open heart. Right? It's courageous. Right? Core, courage comes from the Latin word heart. Love is the story of our heart. Take a breath in. Left hand comes down. Toe heel your feet back to hip distance. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you bend the knees. You sit the hips, chair. What can you love about chair? Come on, I challenge you, right? Right, so in chair, like trust the backside of the body. Let the weight of your body lean into your hamstrings, your glutes. They've got you. Hands can come to heart center. They can frame the head. Sherry, I know you probably have a block between your thighs because that's your thing in chair. That's what you love to do, right? Take a breath in. Exhale, you straighten the legs, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, chair. Take a breath in. You straighten the arms and the legs, reach up. Exhale, you bend the knees, chair. You got it. Take a breath in. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You're going to walk your hands back out to plank. You're going to take a breath in and a breath out. Your next exhale, you're going to push back to downward facing dog. All right, here we go. Take a breath in. Right leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you're going to step it forward in between your hands. You're in a low lunge. So feet are in two separate lanes. Right knee stacked over the right ankle. You're high on the ball of the left foot. You can drop the left knee to the mat if you want. Right. Crown of the head's reaching towards the front of the room. Shoulders are open. Take a breath in and a breath out. Left foot's going to step up to meet the right. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Right foot lifts in the air behind you. Exhale, you step it to the back of the mat. You're in a low lunge. And so this time the left knee stacked over the left ankle. You're high on the ball of the right foot. That right thigh bone's reaching up towards the ceiling. Are you breathing? Beautiful. Take a breath in. Left foot steps back to meet the right. You're in high plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands, low lunge. You take a breath in and you rise to high crescent lunge. Right. So that right knee is still stacked over the right ankle. You're bending into the right knee. You want to get the right thigh parallel to the mat. You're high on the ball of the left foot. Watch the left heel. The legs to kick out. Arms can be up overhead or they can come to heart center. You take a breath in and a breath out. Your next exhale, the hands are going to come down to frame the right foot. Left foot steps up to meet the right. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Right leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you step it to the back of the mat. So you're in low lunge. You take a breath in. You rise to high crescent lunge. Right, where can you soften here? Soften into love. Open up, take a breath in. Exhale, the hands come down to the mat. You step back to plank. And then on the exhale, you make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in. Right leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. You take a breath in, you rise to high crescent lunge. Arms are going to reach up overhead. This time on the exhale, you're going to drop your hands, reach behind your back, clasp your hands, take a breath in, open up across the chest. Clasped hands are reaching down towards that left heel. Maybe you look up. You take a breath in. Unclasp the hands, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you cartwheel your hands down to the mat and move through vinyasa. So you can do the vinyasa or you can just go back to downward facing dog. We meet in downward facing dog and you take a breath in and the left leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands, low lunge. You take a breath in, you rise to high crescent lunge. Right? Keep bending into that left knee. If it's caving in, can you push it out over towards the left pinky toe? You got it. Take a breath in, arms reach up, and on the exhale, you drop your hands and clasp your hands the other way, right? The way that feels funny. Right? Take a breath in, drop the shoulders, broaden across the chest. Maybe you look up. Beautiful. You breathe, you notice. Yeah, take a breath in, unclasp the hands, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. You move through vinyasa, rinse it off. Right, love is the strongest medicine. It's what gets us through. It heals. It brings us together. It builds community. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in. Right leg lifts to the sky. On the exhale, you step it forward in between your hands. Low lunge, right? We're just building on where we've been going. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you drop the hands, you clasp them, reach behind your back. Okay, so from here, you're grounding down into the right foot, right? You're going to keep your hands clasped, right? Keep reaching back towards the back of the mat. You're going to take a breath in, ground down into the right foot, and come up into warrior three. So you're going to straighten the right leg, lift the back leg. All right, so you're looking right at the top edge of your mat, like you're standing on the edge of a diving board. Diving into this big pool of love. Take a breath in. Exhale, unclasp your hands. They come down to the mat, standing splits. Left leg is still lifted. Flex the left foot. Beautiful. You take a breath in. Left foot comes up to meet the right. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you bend the knees. You set the hips, chair pose. Right. Sometimes we have to try many things many times before we love it. So maybe we just keep going into chair pose and eventually you'll like it. Right? You didn't love coffee the first time you drank it. I know I didn't, right? So here you are, you're hanging out in chair. Arms can frame the ears. They can come to heart center. Take a breath in. You straighten the legs. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You move through vinyasa. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in. The left leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Exhale, you drop the hands behind your back. Clasp your fingers the other way. You take a breath in. You lengthen. Feel the heart expand. You're going to ground down into the left foot. Come up to warrior three. So stretch through the right leg. It's lifted. Flex the right foot. Like you want to put your footprint on the back wall. And you breathe. Maybe you shake, maybe you wobble. It's okay. It's part of the process. Love is not a straight and narrow path. It winds, it twists, it's up and down, it's bumpy. Beautiful. You take a breath in. Exhale, the hands come down to the mat, standing splits. All right, so maybe you have to bend that left knee. You want your hip bones parallel to the mat. So sometimes you've got to bend the knee to make that happen. Take a breath in. Exhale. The left foot steps up to meet the right. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Bend the knees, sit the hips. Inhale, up to chair. Chair, you're here. You notice. Maybe you lighten the toes, shift the hips back. Maybe you bend the knees a little bit deeper. Yeah, take a breath in. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you plant the hands. Move through vinyasa or go back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, the right leg lifts in the air behind you. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Exhale, you drop the hands behind your back. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, warrior three. Left leg lifts, right leg straightens. You got it. Take a breath in. Listen up. This time on the exhale, the left toes are going to come down. You're back in a high crescent lunge. Arms are still clasped behind your back. Okay. Take a breath in. You're going to spin the left foot down. Come into warrior two. Unclasp the hands. Arms reach out long. You're facing the left side of the mat. Right. First time we've been here today. Bend into the right knee. The right heel is lined up with the inside arch of the left foot. Let the shoulders soften. Fill up this big, powerful warrior love pose. Like breathe it in. Flip the front palm. Reach back. Peaceful warrior. And then you're going to cartwheel your hands to the mat. Move through vinyasa. Rinse it off. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in and a breath out. Got to do the other side, right? Left leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands, low lunge. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Exhale, you drop the hands behind your back. Clasp the hands the funny way. Take a breath in. You lengthen, stretch, open across the heart. And on the exhale, you come into warrior three, right leg lifts, left leg straightens. You stay here for a breath in and a breath out. Pull the belly button into the spine. You got it. Take a breath in. Exhale, right toes touch down at the back of the mat. You're back in a high crescent lunge. Hands are still clasped behind you. Exhale, you spin the right foot down. Unclasp the hands, come into warrior two, facing the right side of the room. So that right edge of the right foot is sealed against the mat. The left knee stacked over the right ankle. Can you drop the hips, soften the shoulders? Bring some ease into the face. Right? Love isn't a struggle. Well, it can be a struggle, I suppose, but where can you soften? Sometimes it's just a softening, right? Fill up. You flip the front palm, reach back, peaceful warrior. Cartwheel your hands to the mat, move through vinyasa. And downward facing dog. You're going to drop your knees wide to the mat, sit the hips back, come into child's pose here for a breath or two. One of my favorite sayings is self-love is like little love notes to the body, right? Sometimes it's so easy to love all the other things, right? The nature, the flowers, the birds, the people, the connections, the community. But the most important thing, right? The most healing thing is to be able to show that towards ourselves. Right? And showing up on your mat and doing this work is that, right? Self-care is self-love. Right? This child's pose, you come back to the breath, you come back to the thought, you come back to the body. Walk your fingertips forward. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in. You look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Bend the knees, sit the hips, inhale up to chair. Yes, we're here again. Hands are going to come to heart center. You're going to lower your torso down towards your thighs. You're going to take a breath in. On the exhale, the left elbow is going to tap the outside of the right knee. And on the inhale, you come back to center. On the exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, you come back to center. You're going to keep the hips and legs stable. Exhale, left elbow, right knee. Inhale, you come back. Exhale, you twist. Inhale, you come to center. Right, you got it. You get where we're going. We're just going back and forth. Yep. Doing a little ab love. And you're fine. You keep moving. Right, and maybe you think, I don't like this. I don't want to love this. It's fine. It's not. We're not going to do this the rest of the class, I promise. Right, so that's the thing. If you don't like something, it's temporary. If you stay in the present moment, you don't get lost in all the noise, right? This is temporary. But you're still doing it, right? I mean, you could stop. I wouldn't know. You got it. Do 2 more on each side. Now you're in chair. Take a breath in. Exhale, you fold forward. Walk your feet to the edges of the mat. Reach behind your back. Clasp your hands. Lift the shoulders. Shoulder rinse. Okay, you got it. Beautiful. You take a breath in. Unclasp the hands. Hands come down to the mat. Toe heel your feet back to hip distance. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you fold. Right leg lifts in the sky. Behind you, you're in standing splits. Exhale, you touch down at the back of the mat, low lunge. All right, so we've been here before. This time I want the right hand to stay down. The left hand comes up to the sky, low lunge, twist towards the left. Beautiful. You take a breath in. Exhale, the left hand comes down to the mat. Right foot steps up to meet the left. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. Left leg lifts on an inhale. You got it. Exhale, toes touch down at the back of the mat. You're in a low lunge. That right knee is still stacked over the right ankle. You're up on the ball of the left foot. Left hand stays down. Right hand comes up. Low lunge twist to the right. Open up. So on the inhale, the spine lengthens. The crown of the head reaches towards the front of the room. And on the exhale, open up the chest. Open up the heart. Open up to love. Open up to this strong medicine that has the power to heal. Beautiful. You take a breath in. Right hand comes down. Left foot steps up to meet the right. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Right leg lifts to the sky on a breath in. Exhale, it touches down at the back of the mat. Low lunge. Right hand stays down. Left hand comes up. Low lunge twist. All right, from here, you're going to stay twisted, right? You're going to ground down into the left foot. Arms are going to stay as they are, and you're going to lift up. So you're in a twisted crescent lunge. So the right hand is forward, the left hand is back. You're bending into that left knee. It's stacked over the left ankle. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. You're going to flip the front palm, stretch it back, peaceful warrior. And then you're going to cartwheel your hands to the mat. You're going to pause. Right foot's going to step up to meet the left. You're still at the top of the mat. You got it? You with me? Beautiful. Take a breath in. Halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Left leg lifts in the air behind you. Exhale, you step it back. Low lunge. Left hand stays down. Right hand comes up. Low lunge. Twist towards the right. All right, so now you know where we're going. You're going to ground down into that right foot. You stay in the twist, arms stay where they are, and you just lift the torso up. You got it. Let the shoulders soften, open up. Flip the left palm, stretch back. Exhale, you're going to cartwheel your hands to the mat. Frame the right foot. Left foot steps up to meet the right. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you ground down. You rise to standing. Arms reach up overhead. You grab the left wrist with the right hand. Inhale, you stretch up. Exhale, you lean over to the right. Beautiful. Inhale, you come back to center. You switch hands. You ground down. And on the exhale, you lean the side body over to the left. Feel the stretch. Stay open across the heart. Beautiful. You come back to center on an inhale. Arms reach up, look up. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You move through vinyasa. Meet up in downward facing dog. Maybe down dog feels different than it did when you started. You take a breath in, you look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You're going to ground down into the left foot. Right foot's going to lift up as you rise to standing. You're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Bend the left knee, sit the hips back, standing pigeon. Heart stays lifted, right? When we cover the heart, when we close it down, it's hard, right? It's hard to breathe into all of the goodness. Right? It's hard to let the light, the love in if the heart's not open. Hands can come to heart center. Your hands can come down to the mat. You can play with the arm balance if you'd like. Beautiful. You take a breath in. You're going to straighten the left leg, come up to standing, and come into tree. So the right foot's going to come to the inside of the left calf or the left thigh, or the right toes are going to touch down on the mat. Right. Arms can reach up overhead. They can come to heart center. You can clasp them behind your hands like we've done before today. You can close your eyes. Right. Sometimes it's the challenge that opens us up to love, right? To pushing to the edge. Right. You notice here the sensation, the thought. Take a breath in. Right foot comes off of the left leg. It's still lifted. Take a breath in. On the exhale, you're going to stretch it back, warrior three. Oh, I snuck that one in, right? Right. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Right foot steps to the mat. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. You ground down into the right foot. Left foot lifts up as you rise. You bend the right knee. You cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Sit the hips back. Standing pigeon on the other side. Great. And we've got two sides of the body, so things feel different. Okay. Notice it. Breathe into it. Hands can stay to heart center. They can come down to the mat. Take a breath in. You're going to straighten the right leg. Left foot's going to uncross. It's going to come into tree. So the sole of the left foot on the inside of the right thigh or the right calf. Maybe you try something different with your arms. And take a breath in and a breath out. So the left foot's going to come off of the right leg. You're going to keep it lifted. You're going to take a breath in. Exhale, kick it back, warrior three. Hands can be at heart center. They can reach in front of you, or you can reach behind you for airplane arms. But whatever you do, open up across the heart. All right, you got it. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Hands come down to the mat. Left foot steps up to meet the right. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. Move through vinyasa. Or make your way back to downward facing dog. And take a breath in and a breath out in downward facing dog. Maybe you name 3 things that you love in this moment right now in your head, or you can say them out loud. Right? Right, you soak that in. And take a breath in. You look forward. You're going to walk your feet through your hands, come down to your back. And you're going to hug your knees into the chest. Your knees are going to be directly over your hips. Your feet are shining towards the front of the room. Your feet are flexed. You're going to press into the low back. So you can, if you want to put your hands underneath your back, you can. And keep the spine long on the back. You're going to take a breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to straighten the legs. Inhale, you bend the knees. Exhale, you straighten. Inhale, you pull them in. exhale, you straighten, like you got the movement, right? We're doing some abs, a little more ab love. Right, and you keep moving. And here, what do you tell yourself? Do 2 more, and then you're going to come into stillness. You're going to keep your knees stacked over your hips. You're going to flex the feet. The hands are going to come behind your head. You're going to take a breath in. Right knee to the left elbow. We're moving into bicycles, right? So you bend the right knee, the left knee comes in, you straighten the left leg. You come into the other side. Right? So the twist comes from the side body, not the elbow, right? Keep the elbows wide. Right. You take a breath in, exhale, you twist, inhale, you come back to center, exhale, you twist, you got it, you keep going. Do 2 more on each side. And then you're gonna hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. You're going to take your feet wide to the edges of the mat. And you're going to drop the knees over to the right. You can take the right foot and place it on top of the left thigh. And that's going to give you a little bit more of sensation and stretch in the outer left hip. Arms can be out side to side. You can look out over the left shoulder. Maybe you breathe in 3 things that you love about yourself. Right now, in this world, in this time, I think it's easy for me to get really hard on myself. It's harder to engage in self-care and self-love. So can you breathe that in? Take a breath in. You come back to center. On the exhale, the knees drop over to the left. The left foot can come to the outside of the right thigh. Right? Love is the strongest medicine. It is more powerful than electricity. It can heal us, it can break us, it can teach us, it can bind us, it builds community. And take a breath in, you come back to center. You're gonna hug the knees into your chest. You're gonna reach through your thighs, grab the outside edges of your feet, come into happy baby. Soles of the feet shine up towards the ceiling. Spine is long on the mat. Knees are coming down towards the armpit. Right, you rock side to side, massage the low back. You know, love in all of its forms and all of its things is courageous. This work is courageous. Showing up with an open heart, with a full heart, is one of the most courageous things we can do. Release the grip on your feet. That right knee is going to stay hugged in. Left leg is going to go out long on the mat. Take the left hand, cross the right knee over the body. Right arm goes out to the side. All right, if you're just popping in, this class will be saved on my Facebook page. It'll be on the balancedwebster.com YouTube channel, where all of our classes are. There's a lot of great classes on there. And they fit into your schedule, or you're on different time zones. You take a breath in. Right knee comes back to center. Right leg goes out long. Left knee comes in. Take the right hand. You cross the left knee over the body. Left arm goes out to the side. You notice here what's present, what's alive in this moment that maybe wasn't here before. And sometimes it's just the love of the movement, being into the body, this home that is ours, tapping into our superpower. Take a breath in. Left leg comes out to center. Stretch out long on the mat. Take a breath in. Arms are going to reach up overhead. Full body stretch. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, hug the knees into center. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Wrap yourself up in love. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, legs go straight up in the air. Arms can be by your side or they can come underneath your back, or if you have a block or a pillow you want to put under there. You know, we've gotten very creative about our props during these home practices. I would not suggest a soup can underneath your low back, but you know, toilet paper maybe, right? You can point your feet, you can flex, get this final inversion. You take a breath in and a breath out. Your next exhale, the right foot's going to come down to the mat. And then the left foot. Legs are going to go out long. Heels into the high corners, let them splay open. Arms by your side, palms can be facing the ceiling, or if you need some more grounding, you can have them on the mat. Let the back side of your body sink into the ground. Know that you are supported. Know that you are held in love. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Let the shoulders fall away from your ears. Unhinge the jaw. This final pose, Shavasana, it is all about self-love, right here. Soak it up. There's no more work to do. Let the mind and body rest. Your mind starts to wander, because it will in Shavasana, right? Can you just come back? Can you bring yourself back with love and compassion?
child. You are the light of the world. Beloved child, go out and spread light to the world. Be strong, be kind, be brave. Know your mind, know that you're divine. Know that it's alright to be afraid. Know that you are loved.
Love is the strongest medicine. It is more powerful than electricity. Start to deepen your breath. Bring some movement into your fingers and your toes. Take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Feel the breath. Feel the love inside of you. Together, take a full breath in and a long breath out. The light and truth in me sees and honors that in each of you. Thank you for showing up this morning, or if you take this class later. I hope you have a day full of light and lots of love. Together we say Namaste.